12 fish with hidden worms and parasites. Don't ignore this. Let's kick things off with everyone's favorite pink fish, salmon. This fish is not only delicious, but also incredibly versatile, making it a staple in many cuisines around the world. However, salmon is a known hotspot for a particularly nasty parasite called the Anisakis worm. These parasites can cause serious health issues if ingested, leading to symptoms like stomach pain, nausea, and vomiting. These little worms are actually pretty common in a variety of fish, but salmon tends to get a bad rap. This is partly because salmon is often consumed raw in dishes like sushi and sashimi, increasing the risk of parasite transmission. The good news is, they're pretty easy to avoid. Cooking your salmon to the right temperature is key. Always make sure your salmon is cooked to an internal temperature of at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit. This ensures that any parasites present are killed off. These worms are not fans of heat, so cooking your salmon thoroughly will send them packing. You can enjoy your meal without any worries. If you're a sushi lover, you can still enjoy your raw salmon rolls. The key is to be cautious and informed. Just make sure you're getting your sushi from a reputable place that uses sushi-grade salmon, which has been frozen to kill off any potential parasites. Freezing the fish at -4 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 7 days is the standard practice. Freezing your salmon at home for at least 24 hours before eating it raw is always a good idea. This simple step can significantly reduce the risk of parasite infection. Better safe than sorry, right? So, whether you're cooking it or enjoying it raw, taking these precautions will ensure that your salmon is both delicious and safe to eat. Next up, we've got tuna, another sushi staple. Tuna, just like salmon, can also be a breeding ground for those pesky Anisakis worms. So, what's a tuna lover to do? Choose the right fish and prepare it properly. For sushi, always go for sushi-grade tuna, frozen at a super low temperature to kill off any parasites. If you're buying tuna to cook at home, make sure it's fresh and from a reputable source. Cook it all the way through to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This ensures those worms are long gone. Moving on to cod, a versatile fish that's basically a blank canvas for flavor. Whether you like it grilled, baked, or fried, cod can adapt to almost any culinary style you throw at it. However, cod can also harbor some unwanted guests, namely a charming little creature called the cod worm. These parasites can be a bit off-putting, but don't let them scare you away from enjoying this delicious fish. But before you swear off cod forever, remember that knowledge is power. Understanding how to handle and cook your cod properly can make all the difference. These worms are pretty easy to avoid. By inspecting your fish carefully and buying from reputable sources, you can significantly reduce the risk. Cooking your cod properly is key. Heat is your best friend when it comes to eliminating any potential parasites. Make sure you're cooking it to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This ensures that any harmful organisms are effectively killed. If you're ever unsure about a piece of cod, just throw it back in the pan for a few more minutes. Better safe than sorry, right? It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Ensuring your cod is thoroughly cooked will give you peace of mind and a delicious meal. So go ahead, enjoy your cod without the worry. With the right preparation, you can savor every bite with confidence. Now, let's talk about haddock, cod's lesser-known but equally delicious cousin. Haddock has a slightly sweeter, more delicate flavor than cod. But haddock, just like its cousin cod, can also be home to those pesky parasites. Cook it thoroughly. Make sure you're cooking your haddock to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. If you're ever unsure about a piece of haddock, just give it a few more minutes on the heat. Better safe than sorry, right? Let's move on to mackerel, a smaller fish that packs a big flavor punch. Mackerel can also harbor those pesky Anisakis worms. Freeze it or cook it thoroughly. If you're a sushi lover, make sure you're getting your mackerel from a reputable source that uses sushi-grade fish. If you're cooking mackerel at home, make sure you're cooking it to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential parasites are history. Let's switch gears and talk about pike, a freshwater predator. Pike can also be home to parasites, specifically tapeworms. Tapeworms are not something you want to mess with. They can grow to be several feet long and cause a whole host of health problems. Cook it thoroughly. Make sure you're cooking your pike to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential tapeworms are history. Enjoy your pike without the worry. Stay informed and stay safe. Let's talk about trout, a delicate, flavorful fish. Trout can also be home to parasites, specifically the Salmonella worm. Salmonella is a type of bacteria that can cause food poisoning. Cook it thoroughly. Make sure you're cooking your trout to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential Salmonella bacteria are history. Enjoy your trout without the worry. Better safe than sorry. Let's move on to flounder, a flatfish with a delicate, sweet flavor. Flounder can also be home to parasites, specifically Anisakis worms. Cook it thoroughly. Make sure you're cooking your flounder to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential parasites are history. Enjoy your flounder without the worry. Stay informed and stay safe. Let's talk about herring, a small, oily fish packed with flavor. This fish is not only delicious but also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, making it a healthy choice for many. However, herring can also be home to parasites, specifically the herring worm. These tiny invaders can pose a risk if the fish is not handled properly. The herring worm is a type of nematode that can infect a variety of fish, including herring. These worms can be harmful if ingested, so it's crucial to be aware of their presence. To enjoy herring safely, make sure to cook it thoroughly. Cooking the fish at the right temperature will kill any parasites. Alternatively, buy it from a reputable source that ensures the fish is parasite-free. If you're buying herring that's already been processed, make sure it's from a reputable source. Reputable suppliers will have taken the necessary steps to ensure the fish is safe to eat. If you're cooking herring at home, make sure you're cooking it to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This temperature is sufficient to kill any potential parasites. Proper preparation is key. Filleting and cooking the fish correctly will ensure that any potential parasites are history, leaving you with a delicious and safe meal. Enjoy your herring without the worry. With the right precautions, you can savor this flavorful fish. Better safe than sorry, and always delicious when prepared properly. Let's move on to sardines, those tiny, oily fish often packed in cans. Sardines are a nutritional powerhouse, but sardines can also be home to parasites. Cook or preserve them properly. Canned sardines have already been cooked, so they're safe to eat straight from the can. If you're buying fresh sardines, make sure you're cooking them to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential parasites are history. Enjoy your sardines without the worry. Let's talk about sea bass, a delicate, flaky fish. Sea bass can also be home to parasites, specifically Anisakis worms. Cook it thoroughly. Make sure you're cooking your sea bass to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential parasites are history. Enjoy your sea bass without the worry. Stay informed and stay safe. Let's wrap things up with catfish, a bottom-feeding fish. Catfish can also be home to parasites. Cook it thoroughly. Make sure you're cooking your catfish to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. This will ensure that any potential parasites are history. Enjoy your catfish without the worry. Better safe than sorry. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I know it might seem like every fish out there is out to get you, but don't freak out. By following a few simple tips, you can still enjoy all your favorite fish dishes without worrying about unwanted guests. Always cook your fish thoroughly to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. If you're a sushi lover, make sure you're getting your fish from a reputable source that uses sushi-grade fish. It's better to be safe than sorry, right?